Hi, everyone. I am Christina, and this is Serena. We are the founders of Teachers Who Take Passion for Learning. And we are here today to talk about exploration and exploration on Mars. What do you know about Mars?
Well, it's the fourth planet.
Yes.
The red planet. And recently there's been a lot of talk about Mars in the news and with scientists about how are we getting more and more involved with Mars? And what are we sending there and why?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you know a lot. All right. So yes, very recently, February 18th, we have this huge news, and we saw live how the rover called Perseverance landed on Mars. It was amazing. A lot of people, hundreds and hundreds of people, not just from the United States, but from different parts of the world, were working so hard to make this possible. And when that happened, oh my gosh, it was amazing. So what we are here is because we want to show you images about Mars and also the opportunities that you're going to have in your future. And we want you not to wait until you are in high school or college, but if you're in first grade and pre-kinder, we want you to know about the opportunities that you have.
So you talked about Perseverance, but I thought there was already rovers on Mars. So why is this so important or so amazing if it's just another rover?
Oh, it's not just another rover, it's Perseverance. Perseverance. The difference is that this rover is collecting a lot of different things on Mars that later will be sent back to Earth for our scientists to understand much better what's going on there. Because the next step is for people to actually go and explore there. So that's going to be our first astronauts. And later, maybe you can go and live there.
Martian astronauts.
The Martian astronauts, yeah.
So no people have gone to Mars yet.
No, not yet. It's 7 months to get there. So first of all, we have to think about how to make that shorter. And then before we go there, we have to understand the weather, the land, the atmosphere, how are we going to do to get there. All right.
So why don't we take a look at a really amazing picture that was sent from the Perseverance just recently. All right.
So if we zoom out, we can see that's a rover. That's Perseverance. That's an amazing image. High definition, super high definition. What do you see there, Serena?
Beyond the rover?
Beyond the rover.
Okay, let's zoom in. Let's go this way. Okay. Some mountains in the background and dirt. A whole lot of dirt.
That's true.
Or a whole lot of nada.
Nada. But I was thinking about what if we go and camp there? I mean, it looks like a camping site.
Well, some people like to camp to get away from it all, to be out off the grid. Well, talk about off the grid. You got a whole lot of nothing for a whole planet.
You are going to be completely disconnected there.
Yeah.
Okay, for at least 11 minutes, because that's the amount of time that takes from Mars to Earth to get communication. So, okay, you will have to wait like 22 minutes to figure something out. A lot of time. All right. Well, what I see there is a lot of space for us to be very creative. So we are going to think about how to make houses for our first astronauts. Thinking about moving to Mars, we need to have a place to stay. And some of the places at the beginning are going to be kind of rough or fast. We have to do something fast, simple, something strong. So that's what we're going to do right now. We are going to prototype these houses, and we're going to use simple technology, low technology to do that. Okay, so let's go and do that.
Well, as we can see, there's nothing there. So really, the possibilities are endless. Like you said, we got to consider a lot of different things. The weather, the temperature, the gravity, the materials. But prototyping, and especially with recycled materials is the best way to get our ideas out, because we can, you know, think
Make
of one
mistakes.
thing, do it again, and it helps us to consider all the different components.
Yes. Okay. So this is what we need, Serena. We need paper, we need tape, we need scissors and markers. And I'm gonna make this even better. There you go. All right. So first step, you see I already have a line here on my hand.
Yeah.
It's because I want to put this on top of my paper, and then you see the idea, the line is going on top of it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to trace this. Before we do that, look, my hands, for you to understand this, put your two hands together, okay? And try to make like a mountain with this. Now, I think I need one more to close this, but because if not, it's gonna be like that, kind of flat, right? And I want this, how do we call this?
Like a dome?
Like a dome, okay? So Serena, can you help me with your hand? All right. So now we have something that looks like a house, kinda. So we need three things that look like this, all right? So here's my hand, my line. I'm gonna trace this because we're using the idea of hands, and we're gonna develop this in something else. Voila, that's my house. And it looks like what?
Like,
Somebody told me that this looks like a cake for a birthday.
or like a jello.
Like a jello, that's right. But I think what I want you to know is I want you to see here something that looks like a mountain.
Yeah.
All right, so far it looks like a mountain, but what if I extend this over here?
Like a cliff?
Maybe like a cliff. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. I'm gonna grab my scissors. I'm gonna cut this. Okay, there it is. Now, this is something that we're going to do is this part here, we're gonna connect it to this line here. So I'm going to fold it there. And we are doing this because I want you to have the same thing in both sides. So voila. So if I put a line right here in the middle, then you can see that these two sides are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Serena, do you think that we are going to have different languages when we go to Mars?
You know, that's interesting, because if we have people there from lots of different countries and they have to communicate with each other, you know, what's the universal language or the established language? But maybe there'll be a different Martian language.
The Martian. We're going to call it the Martian. I don't know, but isn't that an interesting question?
It is.
We had this question in one of our sessions when our students were developing houses for Mars. So think about it. What language are we going to use there? All right, so let's go back to our project. Now we're gonna use this template, and we're gonna trace this template on another piece of paper, and we need 3 of these. Remember our hands? We need 3 hands to make that house.
So you have 2 papers there?
I have 2 papers here, yes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm grabbing it very strong so it doesn't slide out of my hands, and then I have different shapes. But even if I have different shapes or they're not exactly the same, that's okay. That's okay, because remember that we are using this low technology, because if you messed up, if you make a mistake, then you can just grab another piece of paper. Okay, how do you know if you're going in the right direction? Is if your mountain stays up. Okay, so now these 2 are not yet. So what should I do now?
Fold them.
Okay, I'm gonna fold them.
They look like little irons.
That's true. Looks like little irons. Okay, so now like we did with our hands, right? I need another one here. There you go. We're gonna do the same thing. And for that, I'm gonna need tape. So Serena, why don't you help me with this tape?
Yes, I can.
So I'm going to use 2 first, okay? So I'm gonna put this together, the foldings out, okay? So one piece of tape on the bottom, one in the middle, and one on the top. And look right here, this one is not the same shape as the other one, so I probably moved my paper when I was tracing. That's okay. All right, so that's the first one. So you have something like this, like a mouse. Hello, I am the mouse. And now we are going to use the other one. And again, the same thing, the fold, it has to be out. So I'm gonna put it in one side, one on the bottom, one in the middle, and one right here. All right, and you're gonna be able to open this. That's how you know that you're going in the right direction, is that you are opening this. All of the flat sides are in one side. And the last part is you're gonna put this together.
It's kind of like a parachute.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Or
Maybe
an umbrella.
an umbrella. Okay, maybe we should have a class for a project for umbrellas, how to make umbrellas. And voila, this is my pot. Okay,
Cool.
this is my house for Mars. Now, I think I need a door. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick any side and I'm gonna make my door. Okay. All right, so that's it. This is how it's going to be. But I'm probably not going to be the only one who's going there. I'm assuming that I'm going there. I'm going to be one of the first astronauts going to Mars. Okay, if I'm one of them, I don't want to be there by myself. So I want to make more of these pots so then my friends can also be there. So I have one more. And this one I made a window here.
Mhm.
And remember, right now I'm having fun with this. Maybe it's not going to be like this, but for sure it's not going to be like this. But I'm just having fun right now, okay? So I have another one here. Now, how can we connect this so then the astronauts don't have to wear their gigantic space suits to go to visit their friends?
Oxygen tank just to step outside for 5 feet.
Yeah, that's going to be too much. So what should we do, Serena? Do you have something else to show to us? Something that you designed?
Well, this one has a tube in between the pots.
Yeah.
So that you could move in between this way, kind of like on the ISS, the International Space Center. They have different tunnels.
Yeah, that's true.
We have a picture to show of a prototype. Of different pods that have these tunnels next to each other as a prototype, a design, a possible engineering option for future construction on Mars.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a cool thing, because with what you just did now, we can pretty much just cut the tip of this to have something that looks like that. And that's exactly what you did with yours, right?
Yep.
So I just cut the tip, and now you're going to have something that, oh, you can't see me anymore. Okay, let's go back and show with our camera here.
So you want to show how to get that shape, and then we can look at the picture again.
Yeah. So what I did is I fold this and I cut the tip. So I can show you with this one. So I'm going to fold it. And cut a little bit, maybe like half of an inch. So now you have something that looks like this. If I put it upside down, you see it. You have the small triangle on the bottom, the bigger on the top. All right. And then, of course, you're going to find the way to put something on top, which is what you did here, right?
Right.
All right. So this is a really good way of prototyping these pots. There are so many different ideas, so many ways of doing this. So if you have a different way, just let us know. Send us any comments on our video, or, you know, just make your own video if you want.
the possibilities are endless. We've had students come up with little ramps on the top to have the dust and all of the dirt to fall off, a bunk bed, or having one pod stacked on top of another. So really, no, there's no wrong answer here, because we're really trying to think about something that hasn't been done yet. We have not built on another planet. So no idea is a bad idea. There's so many things we can learn doing it again over and over. Every time we're going to make improvements, adjustments, and have different thoughts about it along the way.
Yes, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. We're going to be collaborating with other people. So now maybe you're doing it by yourself, but invite one of your friends. Okay, so let's see our last image for something that some engineers are already thinking about how we're going to do this. There's a lot of things going on with people building and prototyping. That's the one that we just showed.
Oh yeah, we can look at it again. So lots of things here, right?
But from here, we can go to something that big organizations are already thinking about. This is not going to be in 2030 or 2040, because for us to get to something
you mean
like
in
that,
like 10 years or so?
Yeah.
Not quite. Yeah.
No, it's going to happen in a couple more years, more than 10 or 20 years. But that's the idea. That's where we want to go. That's where we're going to go. We're going to be in a place that also looks nice, right? Because I'm living on Earth right now, and Earth is really cool. So if I'm thinking about going and living on Mars, then I want to have something that looks even cooler than the Earth. So this is something that we're going to keep thinking about. Materials and atmosphere and all of that are elements that we have to put in our minds before we build something like this. But today you start with your ideas of how to make houses for Mars. Well, thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Christina. This is Serena. We are the founders of Teachers Who Tech, and we are so glad that you were here with us learning about how to prototype a house for Mars. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time, future explorers.
Bye.
Bye.